Welcome back to Talk the Walk with me, Sarah Wong. I'm with AJ Donnelly, British actor who portrayed American Army Captain Williams in director Zhang Yimou's new movie, Snipers. Thank you very much, AJ, for sparing time with us, and Happy Lunar New Year to you.
And to you too.
Now, director Zhang Yimou, we know he just directed the opening ceremony of the Beijing Winter Games. Now, afterwards, during an interview, he told a reporter that he would never compliment his own work. Do you think this movie, Snipers, came out the way that Zhang Yimou had envisioned?
I mean, personally, the foreign team, we had very limited interaction with Zhang Yimou personally, because there were two teams. There was Team A and Team B, and Team A was Zhang Yimou with the Chinese side, and Zhang Mo was directing the foreign actors. So there was very few times that he was on set with us. He was there at rehearsals, and obviously he did the casting and everything, but it was kept very, very separate, the two teams. So we didn't get so much interaction with him while we were filming.
So what about interaction with director Zhang Mo?
For me, it was life-changing. Literally, it was life-changing. Before I did this movie, it was my plan to quit acting and to not continue acting anymore. And this was going to be the last production that I worked on. But after working with her and seeing how good a production could be, it re-energized me, and it reminded me why I started acting in the first place. She was an incredible director, and she took more time, and she got to know us as actors. You know, every day we were doing rehearsals beforehand, which, to actors in the West, they'll say, well, okay, that's what we always do. But, in China, that's really unusual for actors to get that opportunity. And after every scene, she would come to the actors and she would say to us, what do you think? How did that feel? Are you okay with that? And it blew my mind. And I was like, wow, this is what acting really should be like. And from that point, I was like, yeah, this is the only thing I really want to be doing. So it was a life changer working with her.
Wow, you just mentioned you were at the brink of quitting acting before this film. I know that you left your hometown, Bedford, England, in 1999 and have been building your life in China ever since. Yes. Wow, what was it initially driving the decision? And looking back, do you feel that you were at a place that you would have desired in China right now?
You mean, why did I come here originally?
Yes.
What brought me here? Martial arts. So from the age of, I guess, 10 or so, I've been training so many different kinds of martial arts. And then in 95, I started training Chinese Kung Fu. And my teacher had also trained in China. And every day he would tell us stories of what it was like living here and all the things he would get up to. And so I made the decision, okay, China, that's where I want to go. So in 99, just booked a plane ticket and came over here. So that's what brought me here in the first place. I had no idea, no intention to stay here for, what is it now, 20 plus years.
Yeah.
But, here we are.
And you've been building your life in China, building your career as an actor, voice artist, and cultural entrepreneur in China ever since. But you also kept the option open of returning to England to continue your acting career there. What will eventually propel you to take that step, and given your deep love for Chinese culture, martial arts, and your life in China here?
Well, I'll start by saying, I don't think I would say that I've been building that for 20 years. I think for the first 10 years that I was here, I was just floating around, I had no ambition, I had no drive, I had no direction. But it's only for the past 10 years or so that I've had an idea of, what I want to do with my life. I was a young child before that. So, that's more of a relatively recent thing. But in terms of returning to England, Would I move back there permanently? I don't think so. You know, after 20 years, more than half my life, I've lived in China now, and I would consider this my home. But, you know, if the option is there to spend some time in England, you know, if there are good filming opportunities or things that I can take from China and have them in England at the same time, then yes, I would like the opportunity to be here, but also to spend time there as well. But I'm not sure that I would ever want to move back there permanently.
So after taking part in this movie Snipers, does that change your mind about continue your acting career in China?
Oh, I mean, yes. Since I finished filming on Snipers, you know, half of my time has been dedicated just to, training myself as an actor and looking for new opportunities, trying to get myself out there. I mean, obviously, with the borders closed still, it's not possible to be looking for work in England. But as soon as the borders reopen, I hope to start looking for filming opportunities in England as well. Yeah.
No, I wonder, to be an actor, a foreign actor in China and starring in Chinese production, TV series and movies, is substantial knowledge of Chinese history and culture required from you and foreign actors in general to take up any part in Chinese production? And if so, do you find that challenging?
I wish it was a requirement, to be honest with you. One of the issues, and I don't know if I can say it's an issue or not, but one of the situations here is that, for better or for worse, it's very easy to become a foreign actor in China, you know, because there's still a very high demand for foreign actors. So there's a comparatively low barrier to entry, you know? So if you have a certain look or a certain voice, regardless of how much talent you have, it's very easy to become an actor. So no, unfortunately, I don't think it's a requirement to be able to speak the language or to know about the history or the culture. I mean, obviously for me, the language and the culture are obviously a very, very, important part of my life. Both because I live here and I love the country, but also because I run a cultural education company. Yeah. So personally, I do have that background, but in terms of acting, I don't think it's ever been an issue, whether I have that knowledge or not.
But does that make you more advantageous at the very least? Does that make you more competitive among your fellow foreign actors?
As an actor, no, not in the slightest, unfortunately. When you look like this, nothing really is nothing is really an advantage to you when you look like I do.
Interesting. So you're essentially saying that being a foreign actor to star in Chinese production, the only thing you need is the foreign face and the ability to speak English?
Not even that, to be honest with you. As a voice actor, and I'm probably going to get flamed for this, but as a voice actor, I'm often hired to do dubbing for other actors who perhaps aren't native English speakers. So they might hire like a Russian actor to play a British person in a movie or a TV show, and then they bring me in afterwards to dub him in a perfect British accent. So yeah, that can be a little bit frustrating at times.
Wow, that's interesting. Some interesting insight to the industry. And speaking of that, we know that China has been cracking down on the entertainment industry lately. Now, I wonder, with the rise of nationalism and the regulatory headwinds, do you feel that has impacted the general appetite for foreign actors in the industry? And are you personally impacted?
That's a good question. This is the thing, Sarah. I follow entertainment news and media news, and I follow all the Western media when they're talking about China.
Right.
And there's a certain, they portray China in a certain way, as I'm sure you understand. And, you know, that's across the board. So when it comes to the entertainment industry, there are certain headlines that I see all the time, such as talking about, you know, this crackdown and, you know, the rise of nationalism and these kind of things. But as a foreigner who lives here and interacts daily, you know, with the entertainment industry, in business, with just people in general, I never get a feel for that, you know? And me, either as a business person or as an actor, I haven't personally experienced any of these so-called crackdowns or, you know, the rise of nationalism and things like this. For obviously things have changed over the past 20 years, but for me personally, in my daily life, I've not seen any changes. I mean, you know, some productions, they might get, you know, shut down, but it's never been because of a crackdown from the Chinese authorities or anything like that.
What about the, you know, some of the very sensitive topics? Have you seen that being made maybe less and less in recent years, or that's not the correct picture?
As I said, in my experience, and I can only ever talk from you know, what I've seen and what I've experienced, I have never experienced a situation where we've been told, oh, we can't do that because it's a sensitive situation. We can't film this. We have to change this script. We have to change this character. We can't film because we've been told not to. Now, maybe that's happened before I even arrive or before I've even got involved. But no, personally, I haven't seen an impact of any of those kind of changes.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you so much, AJ, for talking to us and sharing your fascinating experience filming the film Snipers. And I'll go to the movie and watch it once it's available in Hong Kong.